After speaking on the given topic, the examiner takes you to the third and final part of the test, which is a two-way discussion. In these concluding 5-7 minutes of your test, the examiner will ask you questions on various broader ideas that are linked by the verbal prompts used in part 2. If, for example, you were asked to speak about your school in part 2, this part will contain questions about education in general. If in part 2 you talked about a song you like, part 3 will contain questions about music. That is what I mean by broader ideas. And as the questions are broad, your answers too have to be broad. They shouldn't be about yourself as in part 1 or part 2. In this part, you will not talk about your personal experiences. Here you will answer questions that demand your opinions on a variety of topics related to communities, societies, and countries. Let's see some examples of questions in part 3. Music. What kind of music is popular with young people in your country? Do you think musical choices change as one gets older? Tourism. How does tourism affect a country? What are the advantages of tourism for a country? Are there any disadvantages? How can cultures learn from each other through tourism? Now let's look at some guidelines to answering part 3 questions. Understanding the question is essentially important. If you fail to hear the question clearly, or if you do not understand a particular term in the question, or if you do not understand the phrasing of the question, do not hesitate to ask. It is always better to ask for a clearer question than delivering a misinterpreted response. You are allowed to request the examiner to repeat or rephrase the question. You may use the following phrases. Excuse me, I did not quite catch that. Could you repeat the question? I beg your pardon, but I couldn't hear the question clearly. Could you please ask the question again? I'm sorry, but could you please explain what you mean by? Responding this way will indicate the evidence of your conversation skills and assist you to understand better. The answer too will be clearer. Always have an introduction and a conclusion to your answer. A good structure will represent your organizational skills and will surely enhance your answer. As almost all speaking part 3 questions demand your opinions, you may begin your statements with expressions that indicate your opinions. Introduce your answer with expressions such as, in my opinion, as far as I am concerned, I tend to think that, in my view. To conclude, you can use hence, therefore, that is why, in conclusion. The core part of your speech is your main idea. You need to explain and expand your main idea with help of various facts and examples. Make sure that your statements are relevant and coherent. Avoid any unnecessary details. Choose your words well. Link your sentences together. You may use the linking words such as firstly, secondly, moreover, however, furthermore to complement and contrast your ideas. This will enhance your answer to a mark and indicate your organization of speech. If you need some time to collect your thoughts and compose your sentences, you may use these linking words as fillers and maintain your continuity. Let's have a look at a sample answer to help you understand how to implement these techniques in your response. Do you think extracurricular activities are important for growth of the students? Why or why not? I definitely feel that the extracurricular activities in and out of schools are extremely essential for development of the students. Because firstly, these activities act as a stress buster and help children to get over the pressure of their studies. Secondly, when students attempt these activities, they explore various fields and enhance their own personality. Taking up sports or music or painting is not only good for their physical and mental health, but they are also strong career alternatives for their future. Therefore, I think that extracurricular activities are significant to a student's growth. As you can see, this answer consists of an introduction, a main body, and a conclusion. Introduction and conclusion focus on the key idea of the question and state the speaker's opinion. The body explains the opinion with help of various reasons. These reasons are linked together with linking words and prompts. So that's all the speaking test is about. Let's revise the whole pattern again, shall we? In this total test of 10 to 15 minutes, the examiner and the candidate engage in an interview that consists of 3 parts. In the first part, you will come across questions about yourself and the topics of your interest. The questions are quite simple, but they are very specific. You must understand each question and deliver a complete, relevant answer of about 3 to 4 sentences each. In the second part, the long turn, the examiner will present you with the topic card and give you 1 minute to prepare on the topic. Based on that, you have to speak uninterrupted for 1 to 2 minutes. You must prepare well in order to speak well and include all given points in your speech. Ensure that your content is well organized and relevant to the points. Next, in the third part, you will have questions that demand your opinions on various broad ideas. Listen and understand the question carefully and deliver a focused response. Do not forget to have an introduction and a conclusion to each response. Organization of ideas plays an important role in this part. Apart from the specific requirements of each speaking part, the examiner will assess your speaking on following factors. Fluency and coherence. Fluency deals with the flow of your speech. Speaking fluently simply means speaking in a consistent flow without any unnecessary pauses. The pace of your speech doesn't really matter here. You should proceed speaking in your natural speed, but remember to maintain it consistently. Coherence is the understanding of your speech. If the content of your answers is easy to follow, in terms of ideas and relevance, your speech is coherent. In other words, it is the clarity of your speech. Speak sharply and clearly. Do not hesitate. Lexical resources. Lexical resources are the power of your words, meaning vocabulary. Your vocabulary should be varied, flexible, and appropriate. Choose your words wisely and correctly. Avoid repeating a set of words over and over again. Use the best words possible. Grammatical range and accuracy. You must deliver the sentences that are grammatically correct. There is no alternative to having an apt grammatical structure because without it the sentences are simply meaningless. Pay attention to the tense of the sentence, the subject-verb relationship, and make sure your sentence construction makes sense. The way you pronounce your words must be clear. It should be easy to follow with good rhythm, stress, and intonation. Remember, a good pronunciation doesn't mean speaking with a Western accent. Keep your original accent and pay attention to the delivery. Your command over formal speech. As you are interacting with the examiner and not your friends, every expression you use must be formal and proper. Avoid using slang such as dad, mom, or guys. no matter how habitual you are to those words. Avoid jargons or the terms that are too technical. How formal you are to your speech is going to have a great impact on your speaking abilities. As you practice and improve your speaking skills, be aware of these factors. Now, for your benefit, we are going to look at 2 samples of the IELTS speaking test. Please observe all the proceedings and pay special attention to the interaction pattern.